We allege in our lawsuit that the events that led to the shooting by Mr. Baldwin of a loaded gun do not constitute simple negligence on Alec Baldwin's part or the producers of Rust.
I heard his comments recently that it was a 1 in a trillion accident, but it wasn't. This has happened before. So, I think he just needs to take some time for himself and not be in a rush to speak to the press, because this is a really hard thing that he's going through. It's a horrible thing to have caused someone else's death. And I really feel that for Alec Baldwin as well.
Ms. Gutierrez-Reed, Mr. Halls, Mr. Kenny, and Mr. Baldwin have all denied culpability. Several lawsuits have been filed, alleging, among other things, a failure to properly follow safety protocols. On February 15, 2022, it was announced that Baldwin was being sued by Halyna's family over the reckless shooting death on the Rust film set. The suit claims Baldwin and the other defendants in the case failed to perform industry-standard safety checks and follow basic gun safety rules while using real guns to produce the movie Rust, with fatal consequences. The lead camera operator, Lane Looper, claimed that he had never been this close to death on a film set.
I was really lucky to get to work with her, because whom I met was one of the most talented and kind, collaborative artists who did things that I could never ever think of, that her photography was beautiful, and every day, everybody on the camera team was proud to be there for her, because we were proud of what we were creating and what she was creating. And it was one of those times where we could leave every day happy.
Within just a few moments of talking to her, I felt like she had such a strong vibe, such a sense of a commitment to art and like sort of the integrity of wanting to make cinema, that I wanted to work with her.
To work with somebody that's that collaborative and who never, ever thought of herself as better than anyone on that set, I would have been lucky to have ever done another movie with another person like that. She's a wonderful mom and a wonderful wife, and was just a wonderful soul.
Mr. Looper claimed that profit had been put over the safety and well-being of the crew, and added the crew themselves worked very hard, but I don't think the producers necessarily respected them. After the incident on Rust, efforts to further control the use of firearms on set have gathered more traction. In honor of Hutchins, a group of cinematographers, including Oscar nominee Rachel Morrison, have urged films to stop using real weapons on set.
I had the pleasure of working with Halyna Hutchins on a movie called Blind Fire. I'm Sharon Leal, and she was a wonderful woman, and just we're all just so shocked. It's a collaborative effort to make sure that if anything is going to be fired, that it's safe, 100% safe. So that's what's really, really hard to reconcile with and to make peace with.
I was a friend of Halyna. She worked with me 4 years ago, and then we became friends. And obviously the news was very shocking, and I wanted to be able to represent and be a part of, a little bit of a part of something with all her other loved ones and friends. The low-budget productions, oftentimes they want to make it look bigger than they really are, so they cut corners and they put safety in the back seat when it really should be at the forefront of everything that's done on a set.
I know the financing entities that were in charge of the financing, and I can tell you that as a producer, someone dropped the ball. Somebody decided to go with the bottom line, meaning keep your budget, go cheap.
I think Hollywood could take the initiative to help curb this violence that's happening in the USA, in the States. I mean, I think our depiction with violence and weapons and guns, it's because people see this on the screen. These shootouts, these bank robberies, all of that. I think once Hollywood adapts, and hopefully they wake up and they adapt this to stop depicting violence so much on screen, maybe there'll be less violence in the States.
You know, we're living in the 21st century. The technology exists, and if it doesn't exist, we should invent it. And I think it would be safer and better for everyone's mental health and anxiety levels on sets to move away from using real firearms.
You know, I think whatever makes the film set safer is I'm here for. You know, I've done tons of weapons training. I've operated a lot of all kinds of different weapons, and I think you can certainly use rubber guns, you know, and it's totally sufficient, and I think it's, you know, that's the way that it should be. There's no reason to ever fire a weapon in an enclosed space like that.
The level of unprofessionalism that led to this tragedy was, it's mind-boggling. I mean, we had a 24-year-old weapon armor on this film set.
No matter how much of a rush you're in, no matter if you're chasing the sunlight, when it comes to firearms, you don't want to cut corners and go, oh, well, let's just try. No, it's not the time to wing it. It's not the time to go, well, maybe we can just get one more. No, there's a safety protocol, and if it's followed, it can be safe on set.
I mean, we have so much technology right now. We have 3D printers. We have all of this. We can easily design a weapon, and in CGI and post-production, we can easily like add. If we could build worlds like Avatar and de-age Robert De Niro in that Scorsese film, 40 years, I mean, we can do a little VFX.
There is a understood protocol when any firearm is handed from one person to another, when it gets on set. There is a means of communication. One of the beautiful things about how film sets work, the organization is incredible. And they missed protocol. Somewhere, I don't know if they were in a rush. I don't know exactly what happened. They're still being investigated. I'm not sure. I personally would try to always take even more steps of, you hear cold, now I want a visual. And if you and I are in the scene together, I need to give you visual. If it's a 6-shooter, do you see light through all 6 holes? Let me look you in the eye, you confirm, now you yell it out, cold. And I come to you, Nicholas. Cold, and you just get this, you can't over-confirm it.
The state senator of California, Dave Cortese, declared his intention to present legislation that would ban live ammunition and weapons that can discharge live ammunition on film and theater sets in California. State Senator Kevin Thomas of New York also filed a similar measure to ban live ammunition from being used on film sets in New York and mandate weapons safety training for cast and crew members working on gun-related scenes.
Honestly, even as a film director, I didn't know that they would be using, but I guess to shoot blanks and to shoot, it's no difference between shooting blanks and real ammunition. It's the same gun that's used. So, but yeah, it's just ludicrous. It just has to change, and we're gonna get some change.
After over a year of investigation, Alec Baldwin was formally charged with 2 counts of involuntary manslaughter. The set's armorer was also charged with similar charges.
So whatever other people decide is the best way to go in terms of protecting people's safety on film sets, I'm all in favor of, and I will cooperate with that in any way that I can.
Do you have any further projects in the works at the moment, or is everything on hold?
No, that's irrelevant to what we're talking about.
Oh, that's irrelevant.
Yeah. For everyone who's involved in this, it's never going to be behind us because somebody died so tragically. And I never lose sight about that. Not a day goes by I don't think about that. But you know, I'm home with my family. The only thing I care about, you know, it's just true. All I care about is my wife and my kids, and just moving forward with my life. And
If found guilty, Mr. Baldwin and Ms. Gutierrez-Reed could face up to 18 months in prison and a $5,000 fine. They will be tried by a jury, according to prosecutors. Negligent use of a deadly weapon charges were also filed against Rust Assistant Director David Halls. Moving forward, Rust will begin production in January 2023 following a settlement reached with Alec Baldwin and the family of cinematographer Halyna Hutchins. Ms. Hutchins' widower, Matthew, will serve as the film's executive producer. Her husband said that all parties believe Ms. Hutchins' death was an accident. I have no interest in engaging in recriminations or attribution of blame, he added. Mr. Baldwin posted his reaction in a statement on Instagram. We are pleased to announce today the settlement of the civil case filed on behalf of the family of cinematographer Halyna Hutchins. Throughout this difficult process, everyone has maintained the specific desire to do what is best for Halyna's son. We are grateful to everyone who contributed to the resolution of this tragic and painful situation.